Hey everybody, I'm just here to tell you what I'm doing these days. Some of you have been paying attention to me on social media. What I'm trying to do is reach all of you, and this is how we're going to do it. I have a call to action. I'm asking you a favor right away, but I'm not the type of person to ask a favor without some reward. So we have some amazing gifts for you in exchange for signing up for my email list. Just releasing my new website at jasonmichaelthomas.com. I'm really excited about it. And my partner, Rebecca Graves and Graves Co-Pottery, has agreed to give you a couple different mugs. We have a couple mugs to choose from, okay? So we got these. For example, this is look at the color on that. I mean, it's incredible. And we got a couple of these, I would call them white or cream colored with some, patterns on them. And we have another style, and you can see these on my website, jasonmichaelthomas.com. There are links to click on stuff like this. Also, you have the option of saying, well, I'm not a coffee or tea drinker, or whatever else you can imagine you can drink out of these. It's everything. And in fact, I'm going to show you a cocktail in just a moment. But you can order also, or win, these little spice jars that we have. We've got, that's just pink Himalayan sea salt. I've got, that's sea salt mixed with sumac. I've got pure sumac. I've got all kinds of cool stuff. So if you win, randomly drawn, just for signing up for the email list, you'll have the option to get all of those things. Either 2 mugs that you saw, or a tea set, or a spice jar set, okay? So I want to make that clear. These are high dollar items. I mean, not like $1 million or anything, but I mean the value on these is somewhere between, $30 and $80, depending on what you get. And you're going to get some of my freshly foraged tea. If you choose a tea set, you're going to get my freshly foraged spices. I did not forage the salt. Full disclaimer. I'm sure you understand. Okay, so moving on. I got to look at my list here so I don't forget anything. So yes, Rebecca Graves, Graves Co-Pottery is the partner on that. The giveaway I've covered, the mugs, the tea sets. Now, we're going to move on to the recipe. If you are chosen, you get the special gifts, but everybody gets the recipe. And I've been working on this recipe with a friend of mine named Matt Corns, who is an incredible bartender, very good friend of mine. Bartender extraordinaire, mixologist, I think he should be called. And he is currently at Nesso in Indianapolis, so feel free to pay him a visit. He's an adorable human being and a very talented person. So he kind of helped me on this collaboration, gave me some real good pointers. But anyway, the recipe is called a peppermint Paddy, not a peppermint patty. A peppermint patty is something I used to drink at football games, especially at Notre Dame, because it was a tradition. And we would put 150, or what was it, 101 heat? I can't remember. It was really strong schnapps, peppermint schnapps. And we'd just add that to the hot chocolate that we had purchased at the, the concession stands and whatnot. And that was in my college days, so to speak. But the peppermint patty, not a patty, is a cream-based drink that I basically came up with the concept for whiskey, Irish whiskey, hence the Paddy in the name. We've got, I wanted to use a really nice herbal note. And so we're using my mulberry tea, right? So this is something that I sell. You can get at my website. If there's not a link up, just message me. You guys know how to get a hold of me. I'm super easy to find. So I used 3 of my mulberry tea bags and made more of a tincture, really, because I wanted it to be really strong. I wanted that flavor to come through. Again, you can kind of wing it. You could use 1 tea bag. You could use your own tea, but I really would prefer it if you'd buy mine and use it because it makes a very special flavor. And what else we got? We got a crushed candy cane garnish and, of course, grated nutmeg, okay? So this is the recipe. I'm not gonna give you the exact details. So if you want the exact recipe, you gotta sign up for the email list. But if you sign up for the email list, you get the exact, precise measurements that we figured out. Lastly, before I say anything, I mean, if you don't want to sign up for my email list, I mean, you could probably wing it, you know, be like, okay, here's the ingredients. But you know, you really want to know about everything that's going on and take a chance at winning 2 amazing mugs and, you know, all this other stuff, right? I mean, come on. And you want to support somebody who's really into sustainable agriculture and all that stuff. I mean, if you know me, you know that I don't know, somebody recently called me the high priest of local. So I'm not sure that's true, but we'll take it. Okay, anyway, so let's get started. Got the heavy cream. I'm gonna do the heavy cream and the tea first, add the syrup. I don't know if you can see this. I'm hoping you can see it. I'm just gonna put this in here. And it really is decadent. You can see it's very, very frothy. And I gotta add enough to make sure we get this drink right, okay? Here we go. Then we're going to add the tea. I hope you can see that, right? Tea bags and a nice little tincture here. Add that in for a little extra flavor. And I've already got something to stir it with. I got this candy cane right here that I got from my neighbor because I couldn't find any anywhere after Christmas. And then of course, I should probably add the whiskey last, but I'm pretty sure this is gonna work out. Making sure I'm not forgetting anything here. I got my list over here. We're gonna add the whiskey. Oh, see, it's looking good already. It's so thick. Add the whiskey. Now we gotta do our garnish. We've got, look at this, can you see it? I'm reaching far. So there's some in there. I'm gonna sprinkle this on top. If only I had a cameraman, they could focus in on me, right? I'll pick this up and show you, see if I can get close enough. See, isn't that pretty? Sprinkle on top. Yeah, the cream's nice. It's kind of nice to just keep the cream in the container, and when you shake it, it's sort of a piece of cake. It kind of whips it up a little bit. So look at how pretty that is now. That's got, I want to do a little more. Pretty on top. Yeah, can you see it? It's hard. Come on now, a little bit of that. And then finally, the grated nutmeg, which I can assure you, if you buy nutmeg or pumpkin pie spice or any of these things that you could substitute in, apple pie spice, any of those, or just plain nutmeg, it's gonna be pretty good, okay? But I'm telling you, this little morsel of nutmeg with a fresh microplane, when you grate it fresh, makes a huge difference. So find a way to get yourself some. It's not that expensive, and it's so much better. So much better, okay? All right, done with that. Now, I want to tell you that one of the reasons I did this, oh look, candy cane. One of the reasons that I did this is because I thought it'd be fun for after Christmas. So you're gonna have candy canes laying around if you had them on the tree. You're gonna have eggnog around, and that was one of the things I wanted to say, like using eggnog might make it just a little better. Using heavy cream if you've got it, awesome, because you might have made some whipped cream or a dessert with it and you got a little left over. If you don't have that, would half and half work? Darn right it would. If you don't have half and half, would whole milk work? Darn right it would. All that stuff would work. If you've got a spray can of whipped cream, you can use that too, or you can make some real whipped cream and throw it on top. Matt and I talked about doing a meringue. I think that was Matt's idea, like doing a meringue and bruleeing it. If you want to get real fancy, I think that should be included in this recipe. Other things you could use. We couldn't find candy canes. We found these, but that was yesterday, and somebody came through with the candy canes, so now I get the beautiful stirrer and the the garnish that looks so cool. So what other things can you substitute? I already said you can use a different kind of tea. Okay. Oh my goodness, I almost forgot one of the best parts, and I didn't put it in yet. So much for reading. I got to pay attention to my list. All right. The candy cane simple syrup. So right here, you look in this pan, you're probably wondering what the pink stuff is. It's so easy to make. All right, check it out. You just simply add water to a pan, and then you melt the candy. And then you make it the right consistency, typically a simple syrup is just 50% sugar and 50% water. You can do a cup of sugar and then a cup of water, and you just melt that all together and it becomes like this, right? It's quite liquid, but it's an easy way to sweeten anything without using sugar granules, feel me? So bartenders use it a lot to just sweeten drinks or what have you. So anyway, melt that down, and I actually added this kind of concentrated stuff in the pan into a little bit of the other simple syrup that I had, because I just thought it would be the right consistency. So we're gonna add that now. I'm gonna kind of put it in on the side so that I'm just gonna eyeball it, you know? And the other thing I really wanna say, is that you shouldn't be afraid. That's one of the biggest things for me, is I want people to gain confidence in their cooking, and I think that might be one of the big taglines on my website. Don't be afraid to mess stuff up. We should be having fun, right? You just get in there and do it a couple times. If you mess it up, there's nothing at stake because you can always still drink it. You can be like, not that great. Or, for example, did I put too much whiskey in it? I mean, maybe not. I mean, depending what time of day it is or whether or not I'm got a lot to do, I might just do a little one, you know? But if I doubled it up, might be a little nicer, who knows, depending on your flavor. Same thing with the syrup. You know, I'll give you a precise amount to put in there. But if you want more, you can have more. If you like it sweeter, you can make it sweeter. If you like it more pepperminty. Anyway, and most importantly, if it's too strong or something, you can just add more cream. You can double the recipe, give one to a friend. And lastly, maybe, is this the healthiest drink on earth? Probably not. It's not something you should have every day. But if you have it maybe once a week as a treat for yourself, I see absolute benefit in that for your peace of mind and overall health as a human being. I'm a big proponent, even though if you know me, you know that I eat super healthy, huge amounts of local food as much as possible, as much as I can possibly get my hands on. But a cheat day is important. I think if you're too stringent on, you know, what you're gonna have to eat all the time, you get tired of it. So, you know, take a cheat day, have a holiday, enjoy this with some friends, okay? And don't be afraid, just have fun with it, okay? That's gonna be a message you're gonna hear from me a lot, all right? So, I think I covered everything. Got everything in there. I can re-garnish because I added more stuff in it, the syrup, and I stirred it, so now I lost my garnish. So I want it to look pretty again, all right? I'm gonna do it again, because that's not gonna make it taste worse. All right, real quick, gotta wrap this up, folks. While I'm wrapping it up, the other reason you should get your email on my list is because later this week, I am giving away one ticket, one only, to my New Year's Eve dinner. You can join me and my partner, Mark Allen. He and I collaborated and have created a fabulous menu, which, if you find it on my website, there is an animated menu by my friends and Redfish Viral. Big help in making all that happen. And I'm giving away one ticket to that dinner. That was selected by Edible Indie as the top #1 dinner you can go to in Indianapolis for New Year's Eve. Super excited about that. It's gonna be pretty fancy. We've already got a bunch of people coming. And you know, tickets are limited. I mean, seriously, it's going to sell out. I'm certain of that, especially after Edible Indie gave us that little tip of the hat, okay? Now, and I know for a fact, ladies, if you don't have a date, there's already like 5 ladies coming that are gonna hang out together, and I've tried to put them together so they want to hang out with friends. And guys, if you're single, there's already like 5 ladies coming here that, you know, might be interested in a little romance, okay? All right, finishing this up, New Year's Eve, boom, got it all covered. All right, listen, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I had to check my notes. Thank you so much for watching, subscribing, and all that stuff. You know, if you don't help by liking, following, sharing, and spreading the word, this little farm and my dinners and all this stuff that I'm trying to do to make the world more sustainable is not gonna happen. I mean, I'm gonna keep pushing, but I need your help, okay? So I'm very serious about that. So yeah, happy holidays. Thanks, appreciate it. Now I get to taste it. Oh man, put some ice cream in it. That would be incredible. Hot or cold. Heat it up or throw some ice cream in it. All right, see y'all soon.